Let's follow the next developments of the work. Gibbs, Connor. Light and darkness. Talent is one thing, but opportunity, that's the real game changer. For a young man named Gibbs, that opportunity arrived on a pitch that looked impossibly green. This is Chapter 2, Scouted. The place was Elland Road's training ground. The air crackled with the sound of studded boots tearing at the turf and the sharp shouts of young hopefuls. Among them, one boy moved differently. He was all sharp angles and explosive energy, a blur of motion driven by something more than just a love for the game. He played like he had something to prove, not just to the coaches, but to himself. Watching from the sidelines was Coach Henderson, a man who had seen thousands of players come and go. His eyes, however, were fixed on Gibbs. He saw the raw, untamed talent, but he also saw something deeper, a ferocity that bordered on desperation. It was a hunger he recognized, the kind that separates the good from the great. After the session, as the other boys were catching their breath and laughing, Henderson pulled Gibbs aside. The coach's gaze was intense, analytical. He looked at the sweat-drenched, panting boy and said, "You play like someone running from something." It wasn't an accusation. It was an observation, spoken with a hint of respect. Gibbs, wiping his brow with the back of his hand, managed a small, knowing smile. "Maybe I am," he replied, the words hanging in the cool evening air. That single sentence told Henderson everything he needed to know. This wasn't just a kid who wanted to win. This was a kid who needed to win. The drive came from a place far beyond the pitch. It was the kind of fire that could either forge a champion or burn a player out completely. Henderson was willing to take that chance. He saw not just a player, but a project, a diamond in the rough, waiting to be cut and polished. Later that night, the scene shifted from the floodlit green of the training ground to the humble, flickering light of a kitchen. The academy contract lay on the worn wooden table, a stark, professional document in a deeply personal space. It represented a doorway to a different world, a ticket out. As Gibbs picked up the pen, his hand steady, he could hear his mother crying quietly beside him. They weren't tears of sadness, but of hope, relief, and the overwhelming weight of a dream finally taking flight. The single bulb overhead flickered, casting long shadows across the room. But for the first time, the future seemed bright. With a single stroke of the pen, Gibbs signed his name. He wasn't just signing a piece of paper, he was signing away his old life and committing to a new one. The boy running from something had just found his direction. He was no longer just running. He was chasing a destiny. The first shadow of a colossal ambition had been cast, and the journey had truly begun. What does this ambition forge? And what challenges lie in wait for a boy with so much to gain and even more to lose? We'll explore that in the next chapter. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you're as captivated by this story as I am, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think of Gibbs' first big step. Until next time, take care.